Today, we will talk about reduction of a big data set. Before going to the big data set control, I recommend you reduce the data set from the big size to the sample one, because we can get the hidden the traces or changes of each variable, and we can check our heuristic algorithm for processing step. So in this video clip, I will recommend one of the ways of reduction of a big data set. Frankly, for introducing this topic, I thought, how can I deliver the reduction of the big data set concept very quickly and easily based on our known functions? So for that, I use the hybrid of head and right function together. As I mentioned before, the MovieLens original data set has around 6,000 MovieLens users and 4,000 movies, and enough the rating values, right? So we can consider the metric or data frame as at least for control the big data. So if we observe or take a look the change of the processing in the R Studio, how can we know it? If we consider the big data set directly, it is very difficult to get trace of the big data processing, right? So to overcome the demerits of the big data set control, I filter the only 6 rows from the top part using the head function. So after that, if I test the movies that load to .dat, I can only think about the 6 rows. And then if we write this result with the right function with the our own the file name, we can store the small toy DAT file from the original MovieLens dataset. So let's do it together in R Studio. All right? Okay. First, please open the R Studio. All right, and this is the my code for controlling MovieLens big data. So the total length of this code is around the 70. But if we delete all the comments with the special characters, maybe around 55 lines are needed for analyze of the MovieLens big data set. So please understand and fully got enough information using this data set and this code template, and you can extend or you can put your own idea for your midterm tests, as well as some advanced quiz or your own assignment. All right. In fact, I did not consider the type of the midterm test yet, but I thought about the problem of the midterm test with enough time for improving your ability and capability of the R grammar, as well as the R the classification rows of the package and functions usage. Maybe similar to me, you should think about your own idea regarding this of the size. All right, so I will talk about it soon, so don't worry about it. Okay. Anyway, maybe this code can be candidate for your midterm test. and your assignment. So please take a look and watch the video very carefully. All right? Okay. So first, I recommend you install dplyr packages for using some the specific functions such as the gsub soon. So first you can install it. In my case, RStudio recommends the package dplyr and ggplot2 required but are not installed. So if you click the install, you can install dplyr ggpr2. But you can also click the run or Control Enter of the keyboard shortcut, right? So if you get some error about the library dplyr, of course you can put the install that's packages and dplyr, right? And you can also install ggplot2 also, all right? So you can press the Control Enter in keyboard shortcuts, and you can download the dplyr package successfully soon. And you can also install ggplot2 package too. All right. So we better wait, and we can go to the next comment. All right. Maybe dplyr package can be very useful for string manipulations as well as data analysis, as you know, because most problems of data analysis are related with the text manipulation, right? So you should be very familiar with the dplyr package after this lecture and during this lecture too. All right. Okay. I think it will take a little time, so we better wait, and then we can continue to explain the next comment together. If you install two packages, you can make your own toy sample of the data sets with head and write function, as I talked to you in a previous slide. So even though there are not head and write functions here, because this code is for the original MovieLand data set. So you better compare the original codes and the new comment for only the reduction of the original data sets. So if you use the head function, you can filter only 6 data from the top part, right? So if we consider moves underbar row data with the head function, we can get the 6 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. And then if we use the write function with this variable and your own file name, such as the movies underbar row2.dat, you can generate your own the dataset file with the reduction of the dataset. All right. Okay, and then you can read each lines with read line function with the new file, and then you can check the successful the printing in our studio. All right, so we can do it together right now. All right, okay, in console you can check the working directory with this command, and you can go to this working directory together, right? Here there are 3 original DAT big data files for Mobiland. So when you check the size of the each DAT file, as we imagine, the ratings.dat file is the larger than movies.dat and users.dat, right? So if you click the movies.dat, you can check the big data sets of movies.dat, right? So maybe as I talk to you, the end of the index number can be around 4,000. Anyway, it is so big. So I want to reduce from the movies.dat to the small one. All right. So for that, we can't use the head function, right? So head movies dot dat. But before using the head function, of course, we should read, right? Read the movies.dat file with read function, right? So first we use the read line function, and then we can put the movies.dat file, right? And we can put the original variable name movies on the below, all right? Okay, and then if we put the movies on the row variable, we can get the around the thousands, the number of the loads. But when you look at the explanation after that, the RStudio console is limited for showing the number of the loads, so they omitted around 3,000 entries, right? So as you can imagine, we better reduce the data size, so we can use the header function, and we can use the movies on the below. So we can consider only 6 loads as I talked to you before, and we can write this data set, all right, with the new data file name. So I put the new file name movies row 2.dat, right? After this comment, if you check your working directory, the new file was generated, and if you click this, this file is the reduction of the original big data set. So please compare the size of the new data set and the original data set, right? So using this sample, we can check the hidden processing part of our heuristic algorithm, all right? Okay, so in this slide, I shows how can you reduce the original data sets into the small one. For that, first I read the original data set with the read range function, and I made the movies underbar row variable, and if we use the movies underbar rows variable with head function, we can check only 6 rows, and if you continuously use the right function, we can make our own new data file like that, all right? And then if you want to read the new data file with the read line function, we can also read the movies underbar rows 2.tat file with the read line function, right? So to use the small data set directly in RStudio, we should use the read line function one more. So it is natural way for controlling small data, all right? So we can use the low data to new variable, and then we can use the read lines function one more for reading new reduction data files. So we can put our new file's name here, right? And then if you check the new variable name, we can check the RStudio successfully reads the new small data sets by readLine function, right? So using readLine functions, RStudio can read each line step by step. After that, if you made your own variable from the vector to the factor, such as the vector, array, metric, data frame, list, and factor, I recommend you use the summary function for checking of the new data type in RStudio. So you can type summary function and you can put your own new variable here. So we can check the new data has the length is 6 and the class and mode is character. All right. And then I recommend you use the type of function for your new data sets, because using type of function we can get more detailed information. For example, if we use only summary, class, and mode function for a new data set, sometimes they only return the numeric data type. But if we use the type of classifies the numeric data type into the integer or float, so we can get more sophisticated information with the type of sometimes. But in case of the character, the all results are same regardless of the summary, class, mode, and type of function. But in case of numeric data type, type of function is necessary sometimes, all right? And finally, we can use the str function for the new data set because str function returns the type and the length and the sample of the real data set, all right? So I recommend if you use or make your own variable, you first check the data type with the summary function and type of function and str function. All right. Okay. So until now, we talk about the method of reduction of reduction method. All right, reduction method or method of original big data sets. First, you better read original data set. All right, original data set. All right, and then if you read original data sets with read lines, right? The function reads each line step by step. So finally, we can store a new variable. We can assign original data sets into the new variable, right? And then you can check a new variable in console. And then if you make your own the sample data set by reduction of the original data set, you should use the write function, right? And then you can select the head function for only 6 rows or data from the top part from the original data set. All right. With the new file name. New file name. Okay. All right. And you can check the new file name in working directory. Okay, and then you can read your own new file with the read lines function again. All right, so new file name, and you can also make another variable name. Okay, second variable. After that, if you check your another variable by typing variable name, you can check the only 6 rows can be shown in our console. All right. Okay, and then you can go ahead to your own processing on top of the proposed algorithm, right? So the point is you can use the your variable and the file as well as the readline functions. So you use the readline functions 2 times, and you use the write and one write function, and then you can make new variable 2 times. So using this part, all right, we can reading of original data set in R, right? So you can use the two commands for reading of original data set. All right, and you can make of your new data set by in R, right? So to make your own new data set, small data set, you can use the write functions with the head function, all right? And then you can also read of your new data set in R with the similar comments of the first one, all right? So this and this are similar one, and first should consider about the data set, and the second one is the your own data set name, right? Okay. Alright, so in this video clip, we shortly talk about the introduction of the making of your own data set in R using write and head function hybrid. Alright, about the read lines function usage, we already covered in a previous or the maybe the past week, so you can check and you can refer the read line cases. All right, okay. In this video, we talk about the first step of the reduction of the original data set with the write and head functions, the mixture. So you can also test it in RStudio, similar to me, and then you can summarize your opinion in your audio file with the capture of your RStudio, all right? And I also talk about the summary type of str function. I recommend you should review of the data object type and structure related functions such as class, mode, storage mode, type of str summary function. Most functions can return the similar results when we deliver our data object to each function, but in case of type of, sometimes it's returned the more specific result, so I recommend you use the type of function. And as we learned about the str and summary function, they can cover additional information for each data type. So whenever you make your own new variable, I recommend you use the summary type of str function. All right, so that is the review of the previous video. And this slide explains more additional definition of mode and storage mode and type of and class. Frankly, mode and storage mode are same function, so don't worry about it. But in case of type of, as I talked to you before, it returns the more specific type of numeric, such as integer and double. And in case of the class, in R, class is based on the R's object-oriented class hierarchy, as shown this figure. So if you make your the string vector, the root, the class of string vector is character. So if you deliver your object to class function of string vector, the result is character. In case of a Boolean vector, If you deliver your own the Boolean vector object, the class returns the result with the logical. So most parts of the R program was designed with the class concept. So if we want to know the class hierarchy in R, you can refer this figure sometimes, all right? Okay, and if you test your own new variable, such as movies on the row 2, you can use the summary and type of str step by step for checking the rough data type and specific data type and all information of your own data type. Alright, so in this video, we talk about the introduction part of the reduction of the big data set with hybrid of write and head function as well as read write. Sometimes if you make your own file and variable, I recommend you use the summary type of str functions for checking the medium status of your own variable and dataset. Alright? Okay. Thank you for listening. See you next video soon. Bye bye.